Welcome to Srmvnews. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, and their $50 million maligning suit made sense of why Johnny Depp and Amber Heard both blamed each other for aggressive behavior at home. On Wednesday, June 1, Johnny Depp won his criticism preliminary against Amber Heard, and Amber Heard lost the greater part of her countersuit. In a shocking completion to the superstar preliminary that has bolted the country, Depp was granted $15 million in penalties, remembering $5 million for correctional harms, which the appointed authority covered to $350,000, as far as possible in Virginia. Altogether, he is qualified for $10.35 million. The jury granted Heard $2 million, with the finding that previous Depp lawyer Adam Waldman had maligned her. The Fairfax County, Virginia, preliminary of Johnny Depp vs. Golden Heard has turned into a media sensation. Vanity Fair detailed that as Court TV broadcast the preliminary, it multiplied its daytime evaluations. Hashtags related with the preliminary have over and again moved across Twitter, as watchers watch and talk about the VIP instance of the year, its untidiness, its outrage, the spectacular famous actors at its heart, and the subject of what to accept and how a lot. This was a dinky, confounding preliminary. While it was in fact a criticism preliminary over a paper article with Depp suing Heard at its middle was one major clash. Golden Heard said Johnny Depp mishandled her. Depp said Heard mishandled him. So what's reality? Strikingly for our post-Me Too world, both the jury and the most intense voices on the web predominantly agreed with Depp. That is regardless of the way that Depp previously lost one form of this case in the UK. And keeping in mind that there's undeniable proof that savagery came from the two individuals in this marriage, it's a long way from clear that Heard was the essential assailant. What Depp has is the more grounded public profile. However, it's been north of 10 years since he put out a genuine basic hit. He's conveyed sufficient acclaimed work throughout his long profession to procure himself a decent lot of generosity. In an explanation, Heard credited Depp's success soundly to that profile. "I'm devastated that the heap of proof actually was adequately not to confront the lopsided power, impact, and influence of my ex," she said. "I'm much more disheartened with how this decision affects different ladies. It is a misfortune. It impairs the clock to when a lady who made some noise and stood up could be openly disgraced and embarrassed. It interferes with the possibility that brutality against ladies is to be treated in a serious way." The star of hits like Edward Scissorhands, Donnie Brasco, and the many Pirates of the Caribbean continuations, Depp has been selected for 3 Oscars and been named People's Sexiest Man Alive 2 times. For some time, in any event, he was one of those individuals who are bankable to the point that they appear to be ready to pull off anything, a white man who is likewise a genuine rundown sex image. He was up there in the more elite class: George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Johnny Depp. As Depp's movie profession declined throughout the 2010s, his own and monetary difficulties started. In 2017, Depp sued his long-term business chiefs and his amusement legal advisor, asserting they had fumbled his funds. A notorious Rolling Stone profile from this period paints Depp as a blurring and bamboozled symbol, cut off from reality by his cash, his notoriety, and overflowing measures of medications. He is, Rolling Stone pronounced fiercely, a zinger, bankrupt, secluded, and another misstep away from being debased from his industry. Heard, then again, was simply starting to move toward the purpose in turning into a commonly recognized name when she initially met Depp on the arrangement of the Rum Diary in 2009. At that point, both were involved with others. Over 20 years more youthful than Depp, she had her most memorable significant occupation as a supporting person in the 2008 Judd Apatow stoner satire Pineapple Express. At the point when the Rum Diary turned out in 2011, it was an indication that she was entering another period of her profession, playing the old flame of A-listers. From that point, Heard proceeded to assume significant parts in 2015's Magic Mike XXL and the Adderall Diaries. Also, in 2017, she was projected in her greatest job to date as Mara, the Sovereign in DC Comics' Aquaman establishment. This is to say that when these two figures met, and all through their marriage, Johnny Depp was a known amount to the American public. Golden Heard was particularly not. Besides, their relationship agreed with Depp's long and extremely open descending twisting. By 2012, Depp and Heard had broken up with their individual accomplices and started dating one another. In 2014 they got ready for marriage, and in 2015, they got hitched. Then, at that point, in 2016, Heard sought legal separation. After 4 days, she recorded a solicitation for a controlling request. All the other things would follow from that point. Here is your manual for the preliminary of Johnny Depp vs. Golden Heard: what we know, what we don't have any idea, how everybody in question is turning their account, and how everything affects the eventual fate of how we discuss gendered brutality in the post-Me Too world. Who is suing whom and why? Johnny Depp sued Amber Heard for maligning in view of a commentary she distributed in the Washington Post in 2018. In the commentary, featured "I opposed sexual savagery and confronted our way of life's fury. That needs to change." Heard never makes reference to Depp, however she alludes to herself as a well-known individual addressing homegrown maltreatment. Depp and his legal counselors have contended, and an appointed authority has concurred, that Heard is plainly suggesting that Depp mishandled her throughout the span of their extended marriage. Heard first freely blamed Depp for abusive behavior at home in May 2016 when, days in the wake of petitioning for legal separation, she mentioned and got a brief controlling request on the grounds of aggressive behavior at home. Depp's legal counselor expeditiously gave an assertion saying that Heard was lying, endeavoring to get an untimely monetary goal by charging misuse. At the point when the pair ultimately came to an out-of-court separate from settlement in August 2016, Heard pulled out her solicitation for an extremely durable controlling request. The pair likewise gave a joint explanation that unusually made the case that neither of the inconsistent assertions each made about one another were valid. From one viewpoint, there was never a purpose of physical or profound mischief, so Depp wasn't harmful, and on the other, neither one of the gatherings has made fraudulent indictments for monetary benefits, so Heard wasn't lying for a superior monetary repayment. In what seemed, by all accounts, to be a move intended to back up the last part of that joint assertion, Heard, who purportedly got $7 million in the settlement, reported that she would give her settlement to noble cause, splitting it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. This will come up once more some other time. The declaration appeared to be conveying a message: Heard could never have been lying about Depp mishandling her for cash, since she got no cash out of the separation. What inspiration for making her allegation might she at some point have, except if it were valid? In any case, tattle outlets like TMZ quickly conformed to Depp and pronounced Heard a specific liar. In her commentary, Heard claims that she was dropped from a film and a design-promoting effort in the wake of making her allegations. Depp, in the meantime, continued to work. In December 2016, it was reported that he would assume a vital part in the Harry Potter side project establishment Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This first flood of allegations and refusals all came genuinely right on time in 2016, months before the appointment of Donald Trump and over a year prior to the allegations against Harvey Weinstein that would send the way of life detonating into a better approach for discussing the maltreatments of renowned men. Some women's activist mainstream society analysts, myself included, were extremely worked up about the story, yet all around there was little energy there. After the separation settlement, it appeared to be ready to soften away like a piece of social ephemera, a dubious memory that America generally consents to recoil away from and simply not discuss too uproariously, as Rob Lowe's sex tape. Depp would continue to work and Heard most likely wouldn't, and that would simply be the manner in which things went. Then, at that point, in October 2017, the principal allegations against Harvey Weinstein dropped, and the world changed. Abruptly there was extraordinary shock around the possibility that influential men all over Hollywood were mishandling ladies and pulling off it. The possibility that Johnny Depp's ex wanted to get a controlling request against him was suddenly extremely strong. It's in that environment that Heard was named diplomat on ladies' privileges for the ACLU, and in that limit that she thought of her commentary in December 2018. After 90 days, in March 2019, Depp documented a maligning claim against her looking for $50 million. In January 2021, Heard countersued for $100 million. Heard's countersuit looks prone to go to court in the not-so-distant future, additionally in Virginia. The preliminary that just finished up is Depp's claim against Heard. Maybe more confusingly, This case is something like a second chance. In 2018, Depp sued the chief manager and distributor of the British newspaper The Sun for defamation after it alluded to him as a spouse blender in an article, carrying the case to the famously more offended party accommodating British courts. At the point when Depp's suit against The Sun went to preliminary in London in 2020, the weight was on The Sun to show that its assertion about Depp was right. Regardless of the chances stacked against it, the paper, which approached her to detail 14 cases during which she said Depp mishandled her, succeeded. That's what the appointed authority acknowledged. Mr. Depp put her in apprehension about her life, and not long after Depp declared that he had been approached to leave the Fantastic Beasts establishment. Since Depp sued The Sun, nonetheless, and not Heard, that decision wasn't grounds to excuse Depp's suit against Heard. It will go ahead in Virginia.